Do I think the Borg cube is the best design for a spacefaring civilization? Well, not particularly, but they're close. Because, see, if a spaceship never has to interact with an atmosphere, it's not going to be directional. It's not going to look like a plane. In fact, it's much better off if it's not directional, if it's something like a cube, or even better, it would be more efficient if it were like a sphere. It doesn't have to be aerodynamic. There's no air it's moving through. So instead, you just want the construct to be as efficient as possible, and you'd want it to move as efficiently as possible. So you'd want thrusters equally distributed around it. And you'd want the crew in the middle to see as evenly as possible, so you'd want cameras evenly around it. You wouldn't really have to worry about sudden acceleration because whatever you're using to simulate gravity is probably going to counteract that. Or, I mean, if there still is sudden acceleration, then you're just gonna have some protocol to make sure that you don't end up getting flung, like, across the spaceship. I don't know, put your seats in the upright position, put a seatbelt on. So yeah, like, cubes aren't particularly very efficient, but something like the cube would be pretty realistic if the only thing you ever had to do was interact with space. A more realistic spacefaring, space-only spaceship would not be able to have any distinguishable up, down, left, or right. And that's not particularly good for storytelling, and that's why a lot of our sci-fi spaceships look like modified planes or naval ships, because we understand that better, but that doesn't necessarily make them a good design.